And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. 1010% is awesome as hell. Thank you to YouTube. Thank you to the GSMC Sports Network for putting on this show. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about right quick. Our first segment, we talked about AEW Dynamite review. Then we talked about our Thursday Night Wrestling preview, step into the world of Ring of Honor, the ring of TNA Impact. And we also got done talking about some WWE or just some wrestlers who's been in superhero movies. So yeah, now we're going to talk about some way too early Bash of Berlin predictions. So let's go into talk about that. But before we get into anything, I want to remind you guys to use the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Shoot me your comments, questions, and concerns. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Remember, here at the GSMC Sports Network, we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010% of the time. Remember to Superman punch the like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show. Follow the network. Or subscribe to the sports network. I guarantee you, give me the Eric Rodriguez guarantee that you will never, ever, ever, ever regret subscribing to the GSMC Sports Network. So yeah, make sure not too shy. Push the button. Push the button. All right, so let's move on. All right, so we're going to talk about a fourth segment. We're going to talk about some way too early Bash at Berlin. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. There we go. All right, so some way too early Bash at Berlin predictions. I feel like something's got to give between these two. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They're tag team partners right now, but they're WWE has kind of made it prominent that they will never ever be WWE Women's Champions, tag team champions again. Which is it sucks, but at the same time it doesn't. Because then you see these two superstars having to come back into the singles market, which is great for Jade, which is great for Bianca Belair. One of these girls needs to turn heel. My bet is probably on Jade. I kind of realized once when WWE, once when they kind of have wrestlers inside cinematic universes like in movies, like in TV shows. Obviously, you have a TV show of Bianca Belair and Montez Ford, and Jade Cargill. To the naked eye of a WWE fan, she's she's an outsider. She came from AEW, the longest reigning TBS champion, right here, right now. But I feel like there's going to come to a point where these girls are going to challenge each other. They lost their match against the Unholy Union. That was their rematch. They're never going to get another chance again. So the best thing to do is part ways. It's to part ways between the two. I know right now you kind of have Blair Davenport, becoming buddy-buddy with the Unholy Union. And then you have, Naomi right around the corner. Naomi's, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, they're friends. So maybe heading toward a six-woman tag team match on like the pre-show for WWE Bash at Berlin. But I just don't see these two moving forward as a tag team. I want to see these two girls go at each other. But if they're not going to, you could probably see them teaming up with Naomi, taking on Blair Davenport and the Unholy Union at Bash at Berlin. Coming right around the corner, to be honest. That's crazy how fast it's coming around the corner. All right, next we have Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins. That promo that Bronson Reed had where he took out Seth Rollins was pretty good. It was pretty awesome. Damn, it's poor Seth. Bleeding internally, spitting out blood, getting the WWE universe behind him. But Bronson Reed also as well. He's been frustrated. He's been trying to get his hands on Sheamus. Not going to happen. Trying to get his hands on Pete Dunne. Guess what? Not going to happen. Because, just too much BS. Everybody wants to, get involved in each other's matches. And then, Bronson Reed snapped. He wants to make a name for himself. The man, the big, bad Bronson Reed from Australia attacks Seth Rollins, gives him 4 or 5 splashes from the top rope. It was crazy. But at the same time, I thought it was great for Bronson Reed to finally, kind of step out of that, kind of step out of the dark a little bit. Usually superstars who have been in Bronson Reed's position kind of just get pushed off to the side and never to be heard from once again unless he competes on WWE Speed. Ooh, awesome. That's cool. Or he goes back down to NXT, which isn't bad. But he belongs on the WWE main roster. He's a gifted superstar. And the way, you're going to see a match between him and Seth Rollins at Bash of Berlin. I can't wait to see it. Next, we have the World Tag Team Championships, JD McDonough and Finn Balor. They were, trying to take out Jey Uso. Jey Uso was a problem of the Judgment Day. And then, Sami Zayn also helping out his friend, Jey Uso. But, that's not good enough. Sami Zayn and Jey Uso will challenge JD McDonough and Finn Balor. Of course, they're going to have a build-up between, Monday Night Raw and stuff like that. But I overall think that, Judgment Day, I think they need to lose the titles. I feel like they do. I feel like Finn Balor, since the Judgment Day, the new Judgment Day, it lacks a leader. It lacks a leader. So, for a leader to be a leader, you need to have a singles, championship belt. So in my opinion, I feel like, they need to lose this match at Bash of Berlin, which automatically gives a lot of momentum heading toward Roman Reigns reuniting with Jey Uso, also Sami Zayn, for Survivor Series War Games, which is, should be pretty badass. It's going to be great. I can't wait for Survivor Series. I think, maybe we should do a segment about way too early Survivor Series predictions. Next, I have Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler becoming the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. This newly formed faction between them and, Sonya Deville, they've been great. I feel like the way they've been pushing around the women's division and the way they've been feuding with Damage Control. But recently, you saw Dakota Kai suffer an injury, which is terrible timing. Terrible timing in a time right now where Damage Control is kind of becoming like, low key a little babyface. You had her, sorry, excuse me. You see her getting injured, and it's not good. It's unfortunate timing. It's bad, obviously, in terms of any professional sports, the NFL, baseball, basketball, whatever. You see somebody get injured, and you're like, oh no, here we go. Like the Jacksonville Jaguars cooking, and then Trevor Lawrence goes down, and then you had, you know, the New York Jets promising season. Monday Night Football taking on the Buffalo Bills. He runs out the American flag, jogs out, jaunts out with the flag. And then in the first series, he gets injured. Bam, torn Achilles, out for the whole season. See, things do happen. Unfortunate things do happen. Murphy's Law, it's prominent in some people's lives and it, kind of sucks. But, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, they've been looking for just a spot on the main roster. Kind of like, with the whole DIY thing. I didn't like it how DIY lost the championships, but, I understand what WWE is trying to do with this Bloodline Civil War, because if they become the tag team champions, then you have Jey Uso, also Sami Zayn as champions. They're going to have to fight each other at Survivor Series because you have SmackDown versus Raw. And then that, I feel like, is going to lead to the War Games match, which will lead to Roman Reigns teaming up with Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, probably Jimmy Uso. I don't really know who they would pick because I feel like it'd be a great match between Gunther and Cody Rhodes. So I feel like they wouldn't want to mess that up. So, it'd be kind of interesting to find out who they pick as their partner or something. That'd be pretty cool. So I feel like, heading toward Bash of Berlin, we're going to see a match between Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler against the Unholy Union. Next, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre will continue their bad blood. They said WWE Bad Blood, they're going to have a Hell in a Cell match. But I think this match is way too good and it's way too marketable not to have it at Bash of Berlin. So, I feel like it's going to happen, if people are shocked by that, don't be, because why not? Why not? You have WWE traveling to Berlin. The Berlin WWE universe want to be excited. They want to feel this feud. And, with Seth out of the picture, now you can finally have them go one-on-one with an actual trained referee. So, 1,010%. I think it's going to be, I think they're going to have a match. Randy Orton takes on Gunther for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, Gunther, I feel like this is kind of like his home turf a little bit. Nothing better, we say this about WWE all the time. Once when you have a superstar returning home or around the area or whatever, you kind of ultimately, you give them a little bit of a, a little bit of a boost, and Gunther defeating Randy Orton in his first title defense will, put Gunther over. Overall, I feel like that would be great for his for his persona on WWE Raw. It's going to prove dividends to prove that he is on the brand and he is here to stay as the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He is a god amongst men in terms of professional wrestling. This is going to be a huge spot for Gunther taking on Randy Orton. So, this match needs to happen. Mostly, you're going to probably see Gunther. Rhea Ripley cannot challenge Liv Morgan once again. I feel like if they do, it's dragging it out. If they somehow find a way for Rhea Ripley to take on Liv Morgan, I don't care any storyline. I don't care any promo. In my opinion, I feel like it's dragging out. My prediction is that you're going to see Charlotte Flair come back. Okay, you're going to have Charlotte Flair come back. Rhea Ripley's going to want to get her hands on Liv Morgan. You're going to probably have a number one contenders match. You're going to have Rhea Ripley, and then probably somehow, some way, Charlotte Flair is going to come in the fray because Rhea Ripley won her championship from Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 39. Charlotte Flair is going to come back with a burning vengeance. Say, guess what, Rhea? You lost your chance. Your little boyfriend, Dominic Mysterio, screwed you. And now you're left with nothing. Back down to the bottom. You got to work your way back up. And you got to start with facing me. So then you have a huge match at Bash of Berlin with the returning Charlotte Flair. You're going to see Rhea Ripley working with Charlotte, which is great. I feel like both of these superstars could push each other to the limit 1,010%. The fans at Berlin are gonna love it. When people think about house shows or when people think about WWE shows when they go across like Scotland or when they go to Saudi Arabia, to them this is kind of like their WrestleMania. 1,010%. They have entertainments. They have fireworks. They have superstars that are not wrestlers. They come out and they have matches like this with Rhea Ripley going against the arguably one of the best women's champions in the whole entire WWE history, Charlotte Flair. So 1,010%, I can see this because Rhea needs somebody. Rhea needs someone to distract herself from Liv Morgan at this moment, and I think Charlotte Flair would be perfect. Next, we have Kevin Owens has been rumored all over wrestling news media to turn his back on Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes trusted. He's going to trust Roman Reigns, which is ultimately going to, kind of rub Kevin Owens the wrong way. So Kevin Owens is probably going to be pissed, challenge Cody Rhodes. It would be interesting to see him fight against him for the championship, or he kind of finds a way to be like, you know what, we watched her back so much. Randy has his title shot against Gunther. Essentially, it's kind of time to pay up. You kind of owe a brother here, a championship match. And next, lastly, the main event at Bash of Berlin is going to be a tribal combat match between Solo Sikoa and the returning Roman Reigns, which Roman Reigns will absolutely get destroyed. Roman Reigns will lose. He will get dismantled by this new young bloodline. He's going to be left in the ring, beaten and battered. He's going to come to the sudden realization that he needs help. That he's going to need some help to kind of come back to greatness. He's going to have to build those bridges that he burned during his time as the tribal chief. And that's a hell of a lot of bridges from 2021 to about 2024. So, a lot of great build up here. I feel like Roman Reigns has been confirmed for the next 2 SmackDowns. So it's going to be interesting. I think Paul Heyman comes back, but, should be interesting. All right, guys. So, hey, do not go anywhere. Every Thursday, we cap it off with our Thursday Superstar Spotlight. We're going to talk about the Ace of Spades, Shayna Baszler, as soon as we come back. So, hey, do not go anywhere.